Hello beautiful people, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchi Imo, and on this channel I share cake business tips. But in today's video I'll be showing you how to crumb coat a square cake. Now I already have trimmed my cake and I'll be showing you how to cover this cake that you have right here. Okay, so if you've not watched my trimming video, which I have already on my channel, please do well to watch that so you can have a better understanding. I filled the spots with some cake crumbs so that my cake will be leveled and it will be easy for me to work with. It will not be bent to the side. So that's it right there, and I'll be going right ahead to show you how to get this done. First of all, I have my bench scraper here. I also have a palette knife, and I have the buttercream that I'll be using to crumb coat this cake. So let's get started right away. Oh, just before we get started, I thought to explain something to you. For some reason which I don't know, this last layer is not as full as the other ones, so I'll be working on it and filling the layer. I'll show you how to get it done before I go ahead to crumb coat the entire cake. So I'll start off by applying some buttercream to the body of the cake side by side. Now because of the part that I showed you that is at the base layer, I won't apply my buttercream all the way to the bottom. I won't apply the buttercream to the last layer. I'm going to be filling instead with compote. If you watch my pillow cake video and a couple of my videos, you know that I've talked about this a couple of times. Yeah, so a compote is just a mix of your cake crumbs and buttercream, so I'll use that to fill the base, which is a more solid material for me to work with before I go ahead. So I'm just going to keep applying my buttercream. And if you're wondering why not just put some buttercream there, it's going to be too much for me to use, so that's why I want to work with the compote first. It's solid enough for me to work with, and also I do not want to apply so much buttercream there because by the time I cover my cake, this is a square fondant cake, by the time I panel the cake, it is going to affect me when I'm smoothing and when I'm working. So the compote is better for me to work with. So this is it, vanilla cake crumbs with some buttercream, and I'm just going to use it to fill the base of my cake. Now you need to ensure that it is spreadable for you to work with, because if it's not spreadable, you're just going to be pulling your cake. It's going to be pulling your cake, especially if you have moist cakes, and that will be difficult to work with. So make it spreadable. It should not be too light, too thin, and it should not be too thick as well. Alright, it should just be in between. And when I say light or spreadable, I don't mean putting water in it. No, I mean adding some more buttercream. If you make it or you prepare it and you feel that it is stiff, what you need to do is to add more buttercream to make it lighter. And if it is light, you add some more cake crumbs to make it stiff, kind of, not stiff that you can't work with it though. I believe that you understand this point. Thank you. At this point, I had to adjust my camera so that it is brighter and better for you to see. Alright, so that's it. I'm still spreading the compote, although I decided to go a little bit up the cake. And when I'm done with this process, I would lightly use my buttercream on it again just to seal it in. Now I've applied a dollop of buttercream to the top of my cake, and I'm just spreading it to cover the entire surface. So once I'm done covering the entire surface, I'm going to start smoothing with my bench scraper. One thing I must not fail to mention is that your bench scraper should be taller than your cake. If your bench scraper is short, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to smooth things from top to bottom at the same time. So make sure that you have a bench scraper that is taller than your cake so that it is easy for you to work with. So like I said, I'm done with the compote, and then I'm going in with some more buttercream. You might look like it's too much, or it might look like it's too much, but don't worry, I'm just going to smoothen it and scrape at the end of the day. Now we are down to the scraping. So you just pull from one end and stop just before you get right to the other end. Okay, so the trick is not to touch your edge while you're doing this. So there's the second side, pull, just before you get to the end, scrape off, clean your bench scraper, and then you go to the next side. I'm sure that you can see the edges are already beginning to form. You can see that spot, right? So you go from one end to the other, from one side to the other, and then you do the opposite direction. So I'm just taking it from one end to the next. Don't worry about the spaces you're seeing. I'm going to fill them up and try to get a near perfect or a near perfect finish. Okay, I'm not supposed to do this like 100% because this is just a crumb coat. Yeah, but because I want you to have a better understanding, because with this tutorial as well, you should be able to cover a square cake. So you can see that, see my sharp edge already. With this tutorial and the tips I share here, you should be able to cover a square cake perfectly. So just pay attention and follow and you would get it right. It's a continuous work process. So you keep filling, scraping from one end to the other, fill any spot that needs to be filled, scrape, and on until you get it perfect, smooth, and nice. Fill and scrape. So here's a quick rundown. Fill your cake with buttercream. You do not necessarily need to use the compote, okay? But if you feel like you need to take care of the seams, go ahead and use your compote. Fill with your buttercream and then scrape. Scrape from one end to the other, avoiding the edges, and then fill in the spaces, fill in the gaps, and then scrape. And then go on, fill and scrape until you are satisfied and ready to go. Please, if you've watched up to this point and you love what you've seen so far, kindly give me a thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. Would love to have you as a part of the family. Drop me a kind comment as well. Tell me, was this useful? Did you find this tutorial valuable? Let me know in the comments. Share your thoughts with me as well, and also share with those in your caking communities. It would mean a lot to me and I greatly appreciate your support. Please share and let's get others to know about the knowledge that is being shared here so that we can all grow together. I'm pretty much done with the body. You can see the edges sharp, nice, neat and fine. What is left is just to fill the top to take it in as well, and I'll be showing you that in a bit. For this, I'm using a short bench scraper and just taking the buttercream away from me. You can bring it towards you or away from you depending on how it's easy for you to work with. So that's what I'm just doing, and you can see the edge. Make sure that you have a good bench scraper to work with if you need to scrape your cakes, especially a square one. Okay, and there you have it. We are done crumb coating this 8-inch by 10-inch tall square cake. Yes, it's an 8-inch square cake but 10-inch tall in height. Thank you so much for watching. See the edges all popping neat and fine. I'm proud of myself, I must say. Are you proud of me? Thank you so much for watching. Until I see you in the next video, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed, and don't forget to like this video. Thank you.